Like many other people, I suspect, when Bachmann recently released their model of the Double Fairlie locomotive, I was very impressed with the locomotive and the quality Bachmann had been able to achieve. Unfortunately, not having a narrow gauge layout, I had nowhere to run an engine of that type. But I soon managed to convince myself that since my main double gauge layout was virtually complete, a new challenge was needed, so the purchase was made. So the model as bought is the Festiniog Railways Double Fairlie No. 10 Meriden Emrys. As supplied, it will run on DC, but to make it suitable for DCC, it's a simple matter to remove the base plate, remove the blanking plate, and simply plug in a Next 18 decoder. A feature of the Double Fairlies is of course that they have articulated bogies, which gives them great flexibility when running on sharply curving lines. So what this means in model form is that we have pickups on all 8 wheels, and the 2 articulated bogies are driven from a central motor, which should give it outstanding performance and reliability. As you can see now, as we take a look around the Loco, for such a small model, the detail on it and the painting and lining are absolutely superb. So now, when we place a standard double gauge Loco next to the Fairlie, you can see the actual difference in rail size. Even though they are to the same scale and could run side by side on a layout. So hopefully this will work to my advantage, as I have a large stock of spare buildings, scenery, fencing, etc., which I will be able to use. So now we can see the layout starting to take shape on what will be the central board of the new narrow gauge line. Track and points are all Pico streamline, and on this board they form a circle which will enable continuous running. As the Loco runs along the front, it first crosses 2 turnouts, which will feed a small engine shed complex and some local industries in the village. As it proceeds, it then runs through a double tracked area where a small station complex will be sited. The back part of the layout will be hidden behind hills and back scenes and will contain a couple of storage loops where other trains can be kept to provide a variety in the running schedule. The most critical part of the layout is this incline, which I must ensure works correctly before I can proceed with any further work. I have previously checked that the Loco can cope with a 1 in 45 incline, and the minimum recommended radius for this type of Loco is 9 inch and the radius built is 10 inch. So combine these two together and created a ramp to see if the Loco can cope with it. This section has to work reliably because this incline will be the start of a track continuing upwards to a quarry section on a second board. I don't have enough rolling stock to create a 4-coach train, which is what the layout has been designed for. So I substituted a bogie wagon loaded with lead fishing weights to give the Loco a test. And as a final test, I filled the bogie wagon completely with lead weights, although this is far more than the Loco will ever be expected to haul on the layout. Once again it performed faultlessly, so I'm now quite happy to proceed to the next stage, which is to finish off the track laying and start work on the scenery.